Welcome everyone, and thank you so much for joining me inside the Diana Wright Show live. We welcome you from around the world and in the United States, and wow, great weekend. Hope you had a great one too. And of course, you know, today is Passover, and I guess what that simply means is if you're having Passover and if you're partaking in Passover, you absolutely have to give up anything you have in your heart against anyone, any bad feelings, anything you're carrying. You need to unload it today if you're going to take part in Passover. So I urge you to do that, as I urge you continuously on this show to love yourself. Simple words, I love me. Those 3 words can empower you to do anything you want to do in this life. Anything you want to achieve, anything you want to become, any dream you want to chase, any passion you want to pursue, it's all yours, beginning with the journey of loving yourself. Because you see, my friends, it doesn't matter what you do and how wealthy you are if you don't love yourself. You simply will not find happiness, joy, and peace. The words I dealt with last week, and this week, what I'm dealing with is the word hope. Because if you have hope, did you know that hope is like a healer? Hope is like medicine, actually better than medicine. Because when you're sick or anything is wrong in your life and you give up hope, you give up your opportunity and your chance to recover. But if you have hope and love in your heart, yes, you will get to the place that you want to be. No matter how hard it seems right now, just get down on your knees and say, I need thee, oh, I need thee. Every hour I need thee. Put yourself in the place with the Holy Spirit and ask God for what you need. Let him know you need him now, or whenever it is that your troubles come. Because believe me, no matter how wonderful your life will seem today, trouble is always lurking at the back door. So even though you seem like everything is rosy and going well, and you're pissing people off and you're doing things to people and you're acting like you're all that and cute and everything, your tragedy is just behind you, knocking at the back door. But hope will conquer it all, and I love me will also conquer it. Because if you have hope, nothing can get in your way. And believe me and trust me on this one. When God is about to bless you through his son Jesus, I don't care who on earth is negative or don't want it to happen, it will happen. Because God is in charge and is supernatural and can do anything for you in a minute. Your life can change in a minute, in a moment. And I don't even like to say a minute, I like to say a moment. Because if you think of it, in one moment, everything can change for good or for bad. Look at the person. Is it New Jersey this morning that won the lottery for over 300 million? It only took a minute or a moment to buy that ticket. And as I am always reminded, because I'm just a bad gambler, if you don't have a ticket, you don't have a chance. So whenever I end up with a ticket, it's always at the last minute. So, yes, that's where we start today. A new week and new hope for you who are depressed, who are downtrodden, who are thinking that you can't realize your dreams. I offer you hope and love for yourself. This day, as we continue this week, and we will continue to speak of hope every single day this week as we welcome each of our guests every day. Tomorrow evening, we'll have Dr. Melanie, who will join us here, and she's a general practitioner, so we can talk about just about anything. I'm going to try to see if I can encourage her to come on Skype so you can come on and ask your own questions. And then that's Tuesday evening. Then on Wednesday morning, of course, we have Dax Dunn from the Rad Wellness Center. And on Thursday evening at 8, we're going to have with us a special guest called Evan Rosen. He's an attorney and he's a real estate attorney, so he knows it all. For each and every one of us that's having those issues of real estate, yes, that's the man. He used to be doing personal injury, but I think he found his joy and his passion in real estate. So he likes to go in court and fight for you and I. So he'll join us. Evan Rosen will join us on Thursday evening at 8. So we have a week that's set up. I was trying to get you a preacher, but he's out of town at the moment, so I'm going to work on getting someone else. All right, so thank you again for joining us, and don't forget that come April 30th, it will be your international day. No matter where you are on the face of this earth, you will be able to circle that day, April 30th. And that's the day, International I Love Me Day. And before I tell you about my adventurous weekend with the Rad Wellness Center and the 21-day detox from Rad Wellness Center, I will read you this. Some people wait all their lives for the outside to change their inside. But it never seems to happen because change comes from within us first. Then the outside becomes different. That's a quotation by Elliot Goldwag, a PhD. So just keep that in mind, that you need to change from your inside out. Something Dax always says when he's here also, and I'm telling you that every day. So the fact that you're going to love yourself is coming from the inside, not from the outside. You're in control of that, and no one can take that away from you. The hope that you have is going to come from the inside out. And I take the journey with you as you get to that place. And April 30th, International I Love Me Day, you can celebrate that. And you will know that that is your day to say, yes, she's been telling me that for months, and I have got it. I got this. I got the I Love Me Thing crusade going on. And when we hit the road, when my book comes out, Deadly Negligence, you will hear my testimony, my journey, my hope, my trust, and my faith. You will hear all about it. So sit on the edge of your seats as you anticipate it. And you will also know that you can do it too, because I did it. Alrighty. So let me tell you a little bit about my journey for the weekend. Yes. There's a saying that says, if you put God in it, you can win it. Okay? Something like that. So this weekend, I decided to go on the 21-day fast journey with the Rad Wellness Center. And of course, Edith is my trainer, my counselor, whatever, my guide through the process. And, the Dax Dunn, who is the company man, he is the voice that you hear in the mornings. Unexpectedly so. Because I started my journey on Saturday morning. And when I started the journey, I thought to myself, okay, I'm going to do this thing and I'm going to be faithful to this thing. But unexpectedly, I didn't know that there were other things that were coming. But anyway, I started on Saturday taking the silver and the BOL, which is the breath of life, BOL they call it. And then there was a raspberry thing, keynotes. See, I almost know it by heart already. I'm not even looking at any paper. I confess, no, I have it in my brain. And to my surprise, when I got up at 7 as I promised Edith I would, I took my drops, and when I took my drops, I got a very nice text to ask me what my weight was. And I told them what my weight was, because that's the first thing you do every morning is weigh yourself. So make sure you have a scale to weigh yourself before you start the program. Okay, so I weighed myself and I sent my weight in. And then I'm supposed to be calling another number. So when I call that number, I'm not expecting to hear Dax's voice. So here I hear a voice that sounds like my dad or my big brother that I never had, or a father I never really had. He only provided his sperm, but I don't know who he is. So I hear this voice come on, and this voice just sounds like, your dad is trying to coerce you into doing something that's good for you, or your big brother. So the voice comes, and the voice tells me welcome and all the niceties and what I'm supposed to be doing that day, and remember what I'm supposed to do. And I thought to myself, but this is wonderful, because when you start a diet, and this is not a diet, this is a detox. And believe me, it is a detox. It takes out things you never knew was in there. Okay? So it is indeed a detox. So he didn't lie about that. So it's a detox. And of course, he talked about the support. Everything is personalized. The text has my name on it. It says, "Good morning, Diana," So I'm going, okay, let's see how well they keep this up. And believe me, they kept it up all day. Did you take your drops? Did you take your drops? Did you drink your water that you were supposed to drink? Bottle 1, bottle 2, bottle 3. And that's what I have never, because I've gone on journeys, detox I did it with the cayenne pepper and the maple syrup and the lemon juice kind of thing. Did it on my own, but after 2 days, you're like, don't be bothered with this thing. It's too stressful. But when you have someone that's calling you or sending you a text at every moment, there is absolutely no reason for you to fail. Because if you fail, it is your own fault. So if you have 100 pounds to lose, 200 pounds to lose, or like me, just about 7 or so, this is the detox that you truly want to take. The journey you want to make. Because I'm telling you, I've never felt so supported. And I haven't even met Edith, we've just spoken on the phone. And then she texted me last night to say, okay, Diana, day 2 is gone. You need to tell me your meal plan. And I'm going, oh my God, lady, my meal plan? I don't even know what I'm going to eat tomorrow. But anyway, because they give you a kind of a list of things that you really need to have, I went out, which most of the things are things that I normally eat anyway. So I just went out and did my normal grocery thing. And lo and behold, Edith calls. No, she texted, because they do everything by text. But the way they personalize it just makes you feel good about yourself, make you feel that they're actually thinking about you. They're not giving you a generic thing. They're giving you your first name in the message. So you feel like they're speaking just only to you, and you're special. So, my goodness, what a detox it has been so far. I've been on the plan, Saturday, Sunday, and today is my 3rd day. And of course, yesterday morning, and the morning before, there was Dax's voice saying, this is day 2. This is what you need to do. And he gives you this motivational thing that if you don't do it, you will feel very ashamed of yourself. So I am here to tell you that I'm taking the journey. This is my 3rd day. And I am going to be faithful and do everything. See, my bottle is right here, making sure, because this is the 3rd day, I'm only supposed to be sipping water. I cannot gulp it down like I normally do. I need to take it slow, and I need to sip it so that it doesn't just go to my bladder. It goes through my body in a timely manner so my fat will begin to burn. So yes, I am loving Rad Wellness Center at this moment, and I am loving Dax Dunn even more. I've adopted him as my big brother, you see, and I'm sure that when you get on this detox plan, you will adopt him as your big brother also. What a wonderful thing. What a wonderful journey I have begun. And I needed it. Not that I was fat or anything, but I need the detox for my body. So even if you have no weight to lose, I recommend that you get on this detox plan, because trust me, this is the best one I've ever been on. And I've had some that I did myself, like with the vitamin C. You can do that. I've done that. And that does a good job. But this does a magnificent job, and you just got to be on your P's and your Q's and your toes to get this done. So welcome once again to the Diana Wright Show, live from around the world and in the United States, wherever you are on the planet. This Rad Wellness Center will send you what you need to detox your body, because you never dreamt what could come out of it. Let's not go down that journey. But anyway, I'm sure your imagination is going wild right now. So welcome, and thank you so much for joining me. We're going to do our usual things that we do on the program, and just reminding you that we have special guests coming up. And also, we have on October 5, we'd like you to circle that date, save a date on your calendar, and we'd like you to mark that date down. Courtesy of Save a Life Jamaica Foundation, they will allow you to save a life for only $20. $20. You can actually save somebody's life by helping them, providing a test for them, some glasses, and several other things. So we're going to have that event, and even if you can't make that event, I'm going to ask you to go online on their website, Save a Life Jamaica Foundation's website, and donate the 20 if you can't be there. So, also, come on now, like me on Facebook. I don't want you to like me because I'm not a like kind of person. Love, I'm a love person. So I want you to love me on Facebook and give me the thumbs up and take me on your Twitter journey. All right? So, we're going to begin with the man that seems to be shaking up the world, which he should be doing, excitingly so. And lovable so, because I'm speaking of that man who is Pope Francis I. He's being called a breath of fresh air. At Sunday's Mass in Italy, an Italian lady called Angelica, she said this, and I'm quoting her now: "I don't care he is not Italian. I like him a lot. And frankly, Pope Benedict XVI acted like a foreigner. Francis doesn't." So even though Pope Francis is from Argentina, I think people are forgetting his last name and the fact that his dad was actually Italian, lived in Italy, decided to move to Argentina. That's the reason he was born there. But he has an Italian name, if you please. Yes. So, Pope Francis held his first major Mass on Palm Sunday, which was yesterday, and urged the crowd to show compassion, reach out to the humble, poor, and forgotten. Now, absolutely, we should each do that. Any chance we get, we should reach out to the poor, the forgotten, and the humble. And he also said something that I thought was fantastic. He said this: "Let us look around. How many wounds are inflicted upon humanity?" He included everyone. "By evil wars, violence, economic conflicts that hit the weakest. The weakest of us always get hit by economic woes before anyone else. Yes, the wealthy can take care of themselves, but the weakest among us, they're always the ones who suffer most." He talked about greed for money, power, corruption, divisions, crimes against human life and against creation. He spoke of his grandmother's wisdom, and his grandmother simply says, wealth, you can't take it with you. That's something I've been saying here. You can't take that wealth with you, so do some good with that wealth. And it goes along with loving yourself. Instead of trying to do everything you can to be part of the Joneses, why not take a breath and take time and be yourself? Be who you are. Be you. Do you. Love you. Embrace you. Be with you. Like your own company. And celebrate yourself. And I'm even giving you the day to do it. April 30th, International I Love Me Day, created right here by the Diana Wright Show Live. So I'm giving you the opportunity to do yourself that day. And teach your children to love themselves, because I promise you, when you hear my story, you will know that if you don't do that, conquering life's challenges will not be easy for your children. So you must teach them to love themselves. He spoke about being humble, being joyful, and living a simple life. Not everyone wants to live in a big old house. I don't. Give me a pretty house, a nice house, well decorated and has all the comforts of the creature comforts. Doesn't have to be big, just have to be beautiful. Because I believe in beautiful things that make you comfortable and give you joy and peace. Never praying to anything that you own. And everything you have in your house, you need to use it. Don't tell me you're saving the china for someone special guest to come to your house. You are the special guest in your house. You and your family. You're not saving that special crystal for the someone who will come to dinner. What about you? You're the special one in the house. Now, when you have guests, they just come and partake in what you use every single day. Do you know that some people keep that china in there until when they go, some of the china just crack because it has not been used and washed? Some people have them in bags and they take them out and they wash them and they put them back in the bag. Why on earth did you buy them? Get them china out and start using them, and all them crystal glasses that you have in the armoire, or, you know, some people call it break front. Some people call it all kind of names, but whatever you call it, take it out, use it, enjoy life. Life is beautiful. Life is fantastic. Life is wonderful. And the world is indeed wonderful. And though America might be seeing in your eyes to be going down, it will come back. Because it always does. Hope. You have to keep hope alive. Hope. 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 Hope heals. Hope is more than better than medicine. Because if you lose hope when you're taking medicine, the medicine is not going to work. I promise you that. So keep hope in your gene pool, in your skin, in your mind, in your thoughts. And everything you do, just have hope. And don't forget the love in your heart. So hope and love, those are the two words for the week. And as we take you on this journey, this is Holy Week. Today is Passover. Easter Sunday is next Sunday. Easter Monday, of course, is next Monday. And then there's Good Friday. We're in what's called the season of Lent, the holiest week. This is the week that is the holiest week that everyone seems to celebrate, whether you worship on Saturday or you worship on Sunday. So we hope that wherever you worship, and even if you don't go to any church, you can still do your own Passover, your own worship, your own everything in your little house. Where two or more are gathered, Jesus is present. So all you need is you and your husband, you and your kids, and you got it. Okay? So there you go. Pope Francis I, setting records. Of course, you know, he kissed many babies. and did not use the regular security Pope mobile. He used the open car. And he came out of it and he kissed so many babies. I think the press said they stopped counting because he was kissing so many people, so many babies. All right, coming up on the 11 o'clock hour, as we invite you to continue listening and watching us, telling your friends about the program, spreading the word, and of course, if you have a young person that you would like me to celebrate on the program, I will. Just call me up, give me the name, the number, 561-228-1921. That's 561-228-1921. If you have a guest that you would like me to feature on the program, I will take that under consideration. Also, yes, I will. And if you are an author and you would like me to read your book and feature you on the program, then we welcome you to send us or give us a call first and we tell you where to send the book. And we will be happy to talk to you. Okay? All right. Let's go to a more serious situation right now. And I think I'm going to put my glasses on for this one because this one is really crucial. And I keep asking and wondering, okay, if you can consider for a minute if this could actually happen in the United States. But Cyprus actually clinched a last-ditch deal with international lenders on Monday. That's this morning they did that. For 10 billion euros. That's $13 billion. That's a bailout that will shut down its second largest bank and inflict heavy losses on uninsured depositors, including wealthy Russians. So I pause there for a minute and I remind you that when you're putting your money in the bank, make sure that bank is FDIC insured up to whatever limit it is that's convenient for you. Make sure it's covered because this will not happen to you. And this is a very good story because it actually shows you that the government and the banks especially can screw you up, screw you over. Yes, you put your hard-earned money in their bank and then they mess up and you suffer. So let's continue here about Cyprus because Cyprus is very important in the global marketplace. The agreement emerged after fraught negotiations between President Nikos Anastasiades, that's his name, Anastasiades, I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly, and heads of the European Union, the European Central Bank, and the International Monetary Fund, the IMF, that is so famous in the Caribbean, who come down with all these austerity measures for the people just to get the government to do what they're supposed to be doing, and the banks, before a deadline to avert a collapse of the entire banking system. Because if they did not come up with a deal this morning, they had up until today, the entire banking system in Cyprus would have collapsed. The plan, swiftly endorsed by Eurozone finance ministers, will spare the East Mediterranean island a financial meltdown by winding down Popular Bank of Cyprus, also known as Laiki, and shifting deposits below 100,000 euros to the Bank of Cyprus to create what they're now calling a good bank. Imagine that. So you have good banks and you have bad banks, and how do we know as consumers which bank is good and which is bad? Well, in the US, you can easily find that out. Just go online and check it out. And continuously, the government is actually doing stress tests on all these banks in the US. You're not even aware of it, but they're doing them monthly, every day, if you will. And the ones that you don't hear about anymore, those are the ones who don't pass the stress test. Okay? All right. So now there's a good bank. So deposits over 100,000 euros, which under EU law are not guaranteed, will be frozen and used to resolve debts, and Laiki will effectively be shuttered with thousands of job losses. Now, can you imagine how those people are feeling this morning? Not very good. Absolutely not very good. And greed will always get us. Because you see, every time a bank fails, you can trace it right back to greed and mismanagement. And people not being honest and doing what they're supposed to be doing, but instead everyone is trying to be a millionaire in a minute. An EU spokesman said no levy would be imposed on any deposits in Cypriot banks. A first attempt at a deal last week, if you remember, collapsed when the Cypriot parliament rejected a proposed levy on all deposits. And the only reason they rejected it is because the people got to the streets and demonstrated and took all their money out of all the ATMs. A senior source involved in the talk said Anastasiades had threatened to resign at one stage if he was pushed too far. EU diplomats said the president flown to Brussels in a private jet, no doubt. Why couldn't he fly commercial? Anyway, in a private jet chartered by the European Commission, had fought to preserve the country's business model as an offshore financial center, drawing huge sums from wealthy Russians and Britons. So the people from Britain who are wealthy and the people from Russia who are wealthy, they were putting their money in Cyprus's banks. So Cyprus then became like a safe haven for these wealthy guys, and they were trying to run their economy just on that. So when that fails, hence the problems they're having right now. The key issue in dispute were how Cyprus would raise 5.8 billion euros from its banking sector towards its own financial rescue and how to restructure and resolve the outsized bank. The bank was too big, like lots of our banks in the U.S. that are too big to fail. They're calling banks like Citibank and JP Morgan Chase and Bank of America. They're all being called too big to fail. And Wells Fargo might just be on that list too. So when you see this happening in Europe, don't close your ears and act like you don't care, because it will affect you. Because I'm sure it will affect the market at some point if things don't get worked out. Hence, affecting your money. The EU's Economic Affairs Chief Olli Rehn said there were no good options. No good options? How about if they wanted to run the bank properly in the first place? Only hard choices left, he said, for the latest casualty of the Eurozone crisis. Now, I'm wondering how those Germans are feeling that they have to continuously take out their hard-earned cash and be bailing out these crazy other European countries that just can't seem to manage themselves. When this Euro thing came out, I was one of those voices in the wilderness saying, how on earth are they going to have one currency for all the different cultures in Europe, the different people, the different thought process? And then they're going to talk about the European Union. Wonderful on paper. But Germans are different from people in Cyprus. People in Italy are different from people in France. And it goes on. Greece, look at what happened in Greece the other day. Greece almost tanked everybody. So, we continue with the story here. And again, I just welcome you to the Diana Wright Show Live. Thank you for joining us from around the world and in the United States. With banks closed for the last week, can you imagine not being able to get your money for the last week? The Central Bank of Cyprus imposed a 100 euro day. 100 euros is what you were allowed to take out of your own money now. Okay? They had the nerve to put a limit on withdrawals from cash machines at the two biggest banks to avert a run. Now you put your money in the bank, and then when they're having issues, you can't even get it out. They're going to try to tell you how much you can take out. French finance minister rejected charges that the EU had brought Cypriots to their knees, saying it was the island's offshore business model that had failed. So the blame game is starting and going around, you see. Because like everything else, even in our own lives, when something happens to us, we have to find someone to blame. And then most of the times, 99.999% of the time, I would almost say 100% of the time, you're to blame. It's your fault. Stop blaming other people for your problems. Cypriot Finance Minister Michalis Saris. What an interesting name. An is and an is. So Michalis Saris left yawns as he listens during a media conference after an emergency Eurogroup meeting in Brussels on Monday. That's today. Remember, they're hours ahead of us. To all those who say that we are strangling an entire people, Cyprus is a casino economy that was on the brink of bankruptcy. That's what Minister Michalis Saris said. The euro gained against the dollar on the news in early Asian trading. Analysts had said failure to clinch a deal could cause a financial market sell-off. But some said the island's small size, it counts for just 0.2% of the Eurozone's economic output, meant contagion would be limited. The abandoned levy on bank deposits had unsettled investors since it represented an unprecedented step in Europe's handling of a debt crisis that has spread from Greece to Ireland, Portugal, Spain, and Italy. All those countries are involved. And remember, my friends, we are now in a global economy. It's not just about the American economy anymore or the American stock market. One sneezes, they all get a cold. In the Cypriot capital, Nicosia, on Sunday, the mood was anxious. I haven't felt so uncertain about the future since I was 13, said Dora, who is from Cyprus. She's now 53, a nursery teacher who lost her job 2 years ago when the school she worked at closed down. She said this, I have 2 children studying abroad and I tell them not to return to Cyprus. Imagine a mother saying that. I think a solution will be found tonight, but it won't be the best interest of our country. Cyprus's banking sector, with assets of 8 times the size of its economy, has been crippled by exposure to Greece, where private bondholders suffered a 75% haircut last year. You might remember about Greece. Without a deal today, which they did, praise God, the ECB said it would cut off emergency funds to the bank, spelling certain collapse and potentially pushing the economy out of the Eurozone. So if that didn't happen today, that deal did not come down today, whoops, Cyprus's banking system would be just dead just about now. I would be giving you sad, sad news. Even though some people are not happy with the news, it's better than the whole country in collapse. About 200 bank employees protested outside the presidential palace on Sunday, chanting this: Troika out of Cyprus, and Cyprus will not become a protectorate. People are just hopping mad, and they should be. Because why do you think that these guys should be, mismanaging our monies? Look at what took place in the United States. AIG, the insurance company, too big to fail and failed. Now it's trying to come back to tell us that it's good. I wouldn't trust AIG. So, they're advertising a lot and saying a lot of good things, but you got to beware when you're putting your money in the bank. You must know. FDIC insured, if it's $200,000 is the limit, do not put more than $200,000 in that bank. A lot of us don't have $200,000 to put in the bank, but just in case you do, okay? Just in case you have $200,000, you make sure you know. If it's $250,000, make sure you know that. Don't just do things blindly. It's just like, a lot of people, they go and they buy stuff. And then, or they go to sign a document and they're just signing that document without reading the fine print. The devil is always in the details, my friends. So please let us not forget the details. Read the fine print, even if you have to put on your magnifying glass like I just did. Read the fine print of anything that you put your John Hancock on, which is your signature. And I don't care how wonderful that person is, even if it's your children asking you to sign something, make sure you're signing what you're reading first. Because even your kids, they can bring home things from school and put it underneath something and make you sign something and you don't even know what you're signing, okay? So, trust your instincts and make sure when you go to get a mortgage, it's a lot of paperwork, but sit your butt down there and read before you sign. Because I promise you, you will find that some error was made, and that error is not on your behalf, in your benefit. It will be in the bank's benefit. So make sure you read. And when you go to sign that paperwork at the builder or whoever you go to get that house from, read that too. Takes you a long time. Tell them you'll take it home overnight and read it. Because it will do you good. All right? So, now, I found this quite interesting, switching over to some politics here in the United States. I found it quite interesting and actually a little amusing that the Tea Party is now boycotting Fox News. Who knew? Fox News, saying they are too liberal or the network keeps turning to the left. And this is their second boycott, no doubt, organized by the Tea Party this season alone. They say an earlier 2-day boycott of Fox News took down 20% of Fox's regular viewership. Now, the Tea Party is reeling some power over there at Fox. One protester said this: "The more I looked at it, I have come to the conclusion that Fox is not as fair and balanced as I thought." They shade the truth also. You just found that out, my brother? Who knew? Which is a statement with so many ironic layers of meaning. It's like a parfait, you see. So I am here to wonder and ponder along with you that the Tea Party can actually say that Fox is too liberal. Fox is going too much to the left. Is it because Bill O'Reilly kind of chided Michelle Bachmann for saying all those crazy things that she said about the president last week, talking about the president is paying someone to walk his dog and he has 5 chefs on Air Force One, and so what? Michelle Bachmann? Congresswoman Michelle Bachmann almost losing her seat in the 2012 election she won by the skin of her nose. And have the nerve to go and be stirring up trouble again. As I said before, I have a feeling she has a secret crush on President Barack Obama. Because if she didn't, she would not be trying to take on every single thing. And she just makes up all these stories. I don't know which planet she lives on. She lives on the street of denial in Hope Gardens. And I'm not sure where she's heading with all of this foolishness. And so what if he has 5 chefs on Air Force One? Is that what the president normally gets? Does the president normally get his housekeeper to walk his dog? Yes. So why can't this president have the housekeeper walk his dog, Congresswoman Michelle Bachmann? I don't know. She just seemed to be crazy and crazy and crazier every single time she opens her mouth. I don't know if she does this to get attention, which is part of my opinion, that she does this to get attention. Because you see, if she's not saying anything crazy, no one knows or remembers Congresswoman Michelle Bachmann. No one does. No one talks about her unless she says something crazy. So I think we need to stop talking about her craziness. So maybe she'll stop driving the president crazy. So you see how life turns, and you see how wonderful life can be. The Tea Party is actually turning against their great crusader, Fox News. Fox News was where you had to turn if you wanted to see all those nasty banners they had up calling the president Hitler and all kind of nasty stuff that they were saying about him. Fox is one that kept telling you all the lies through Sean Hannity and Bill O'Reilly and all the others. The guy who runs Fox News is the one that was, just rude enough to talk about the president is lazy in his upcoming book. So the Tea Party is turning against Fox? Well, this is a new day. A new day for us to put our shoulders back and know that hope is indeed alive. Because you can hope for things and hope them into happening. Because I knew I would live to see this day, that the Tea Party is turning against Fox, their only voice that they had, to belt out all the nasty, hateful things that they were saying about President Barack Obama. The disrespect they spewed about the president. Well, sometimes you just have to wait and be patient. Keep hope alive. And continue to love the haters even when they're hating you. And you will see them come out of the woodwork. And begin to realize that hate, if you throw it against a wall, it comes back and hits you in the head. But if you throw love against the wall, it comes back and soothes you and gives you happiness, joy, and peace. Okay. There's a curious question going around right now. Does time go faster as we get older, or does it go slower? What do you think? I think as you get older, you realize that your time is short, but you have a way of making it go slow. Because you have to achieve all the things you want. You can't die with your dream in your heart only, or in your brain. You have to get your dream. You have to find your passion. So as you get older, there's an urgency to do so. So older people seem to take life just a little slower. Of course, young people, they can count to 60 seconds in a flash. Older people just want to take it in, move slower, enjoy life, and smell the roses. And eventually those young people will get to that point. The young power that they have now, they will utilize it until they get to the place where they can take a breath and smell the roses and enjoy life. Stop chasing the dollar. Remember the saying, there is no Brinks truck that's following the hearse to the burial ground. Okay? All right. Anyway, I am happy to say today, because, I'm always complaining about why is it that, all this oil that we're finding in this natural gas and we're still paying more at the pump? Well, finally, the boom in new oil and natural gas flowing through the United States. The pipelines are it's beginning to ripple through the entire American economy. Now, believe it or not, they actually use a Baltimore company called Martin Steel Wire Products. They make wire baskets for industrial customers, and actually they're hiring more people now. And the best part of the news, gas prices are slowly going down. Now, with all this oil and natural gas that we found, I want to see $2 gas. Now, President Obama doesn't like when we say that because he wants to kill the Republicans when they say that. But I'm going to hope for that today. $2.50 gas? That would be awesome. Can you imagine going to the pump with all the oil and the natural gas they're finding and pumping out of those pipelines? Was it North Dakota? I would love to see that at the pump. So if we are now going to be exporting oil, remember now, in Venezuela, they're paying what, 2 cents a gallon? I don't see why we can't pay $2.50 a gallon. So that's my hope for the day. That is my wow, hope, big story for the day. So I want you to hope with me. $2.50 a gallon for gas. Let's hope for that. And let's see it happens. What a great thing it would do for the country. People will be driving more, taking more long trips and in their cars and all that good stuff. And airline tickets will be forced to come back down because they can't use the fuel cost to tell us. You know, like yesterday I went to a restaurant and the man is telling me, oh, he has to charge more for chicken breast if you want chicken breast because the price of chicken breast goes up every week. I'm like, excuse me? Not happening here. No. I normally get breast and thighs and legs, and that's what I want. I don't want all thighs and all, you know, that other part that you don't like. Okay. So hence, I got breast. I'm paying for mixed. I don't want not mixed. And that's what I'm here to say to you today. When you go out, not necessarily with food, because, you know, I was there going, I hope they're not doing anything to my food in the back there now. And my husband kept saying, no, I don't think they would. So don't try to get upset with them, because I was very nice about it. I'm like, no, I would not expect all breasts. Absolutely not. But I expect what I'm paying for, which is a mixture. Not just legs and thighs. I expect the breast part. And if you're not going to give me the breast part, don't tell me it's a change of policy. What kind of change of policy you having in a restaurant, charging people one money and tell you about, you know, I can't give you breast because breast price is going up. Wow, I found that to be quite incredible. So I thought I had to share that with you today. So that was part of my weekend, you see, as I went out to eat, because you have to, before you get on the detox, you have to eat a lot of food. Not necessarily a lot of food, but you have to eat like you normally eat, okay? And then they hit you with the small amount, the 4 ounces of food that you eat the next day. Because today is my day to start the 4 ounce of protein, 4 ounces of vegetables. Can you imagine how small that is in the plate? My little hands are not that big, so it's only, forget your fingers. The fingers are not part of it. It's just your palm. 4 ounces, that's about. I didn't get my scale because I went to 3 stores and they had no scales. No food scale, that is. So I had to, as of today, I'm going to have to deal with my palm a lot. Okay? So I'm going to have to kind of hold up the thing over my palm and make sure it's not bigger than my palm. Dax, hope you're listening, because I'm on the journey of RAD Wellness Center, the detox. Yes. So I'm going to, you know, go on the 4 ounce journey. But, you know, I figure if you do 4 ounces, then you know, you're going to get used to it, because your stomach is going to shrink, and then you're going to find that you're not even hungry. As a matter of fact, today, as they said, as Dak said in his little thing this morning, his little voice, he said, you're not going to feel hungry. And if you do, just take a sip of water. Okay, I'll take a sip of water. No, I'm not hungry right now. I don't need to take a sip of water. And he said, in 25 minutes, if you're still hungry, eat a fruit. 1 fruit. Imagine that. And if you're still hungry after 25 minutes, eat a meal. Well, I'm doing good so far, because I didn't even remember that their food existed until I mentioned it just now. Because I'm not necessarily a foodie. I just like to experiment with food. I like to eat food from every culture. Spanish food, Indian food, Thai food, Vietnamese food. I had that when I went to Paris or one of those countries. Pretty good. German food. German food tend to be very big. I like all kind of foods. African food I've had. You name it, I've had it. But certain things I just won't try. French food, I will not eat no frog legs. No, I'm not. I draw the line at certain places. And now I hear them talking about horse meat. I don't think I want to try that either. And then they talk about buffalo meat. I'm told it's very good. Don't want to know. And then there's what? What is it? Alligator now? Nah. I'm told that buffalo meat is fantastic. Even my husband says so. So maybe, just maybe, I might be brave enough. But the frog legs? No, I don't think I'm going to. No. I didn't even know you could eat horse meat until I heard of the scandal in Europe. Did you know that you could actually eat horse meat? I've never heard of that. How did they get horses included in the dietary? How did they do that? Are horses supposed to be eaten? I didn't think so. I didn't even know you could eat an alligator. But now they're saying alligator meat is a delicacy. I wonder why. And some people say it tastes just like chicken. Oh boy, I tell you, that's funny. Anyway, good thing I'm talking about that, because here you go. Here are the see, I just flowed right into this. I did not even realize that this was my next story. My next story is about health. And these two I'm definitely going to repeat at 8 o'clock because they are important. These foods are better than medicine, they're saying. If you have a muscle ache, tart cherries will take care of it. So if you worked out too much or you have a feeling of an ache and pain in your joints, get you some cherries. Yes. If you're losing your memory, sunflower seeds will stop the loss of your memory. Now imagine something like that. Those little tiny sunflower seeds, they have that much magic in them. If you have weak muscles, an apple a day will keep the doctor away, just like it will take care of your weak muscles. And this one, I barely wanted to include it because I'm sick and tired of being in my car and hearing about ED, erectile dysfunction. They're always paying attention to the male penis and what it should be doing and should not be doing at whatever age. But gentlemen, if you have erectile dysfunction, all you need is some garlic, 2 cloves in every meal. So I guess I see all the men jumping up just about now, running to the store to get some garlic. 2 cloves. Lack of focus. So if you have kids who have lack of focus, some eggs will take care of that. 1 egg daily will take care of a child or a person who is not focusing. Aging skin. If you have aging skin, an orange a day will do it for you. Thank you very much. I eat an orange a day, so maybe my skin will just stay youthful. And I'll be... seriously, I pray for the blessing of Sarah every day, every morning, every evening. Because Sarah got blessed internally and externally. So that's the blessing that I want from God through his son Jesus. Depression. Now this one I was shocked about. So all of you who are depressed, brown rice will help you with your depression. A cup of brown rice on a daily basis will take care of it. If you have insomnia, you need to be eating lots of chicken per day. Only 4 ounces allowed, just the amount that Rad Wellness gives you. So Dax only allows you 4 ounces after your first 2 days. On your 3rd day, 4 ounces. So there you go. If you have puffy eyes, green tea, I think a lot of us knew that one. Green tea, a cup of green tea daily will take care of your puffy eyes. But also you can actually put the tea bags on your eyes. Upset stomach. Peppermint. A lot of us knew that one. If you have dull hair, they said you should eat a lot of spinach. And if you have low energy, a banana will whip you right out of it. And if you have anxiety, guess what you need to be eating for anxiety? Peanuts. Yes, I'm going to repeat those. I love those. I'm going to make that as part of my daily thing because I think that's good. That's good. That's good. And of course, when Dax is here on Wednesday morning, I will challenge him with all of those. Okay. Final story before I get out of here. Health, again. Look younger. The foods that will make you look younger. Don't you want to look younger? Of course you do. Sweet potatoes. Wild salmon. Salmon seems to come knocking on every single door. Tomatoes. I guess that's why my husband always looks young, because he eats tomatoes every single day. 1 tomato per day. He doesn't miss. Citrus fruits. Oranges, grapefruits, and lemons. And limes. That will definitely help you stay young. Leafy greens, of course. Spinach and kale and stuff like that. And they ask you, if you want to stay looking young, stay away from all white food. So anything that's white, don't buy. Take it out of your closet, throw it in the garbage, and start with things that are brown, whole grain. And cut out the sugar, of course. It causes wrinkles. Can you imagine that? Sugar causes wrinkles. And on that note, we will wrinkle out of here and remind you that my guest tomorrow evening will be Dr. Melanie. Wednesday morning will be Dax Dunn. And of course, Thursday evening will be Evan Rosen, attorney Evan Rosen. He's a real estate attorney, so he'll join us on Thursday evening at 8. And come Friday morning, Dax will be back here with me, and we will do, what I call my wow, big stories of the week. We'll go through that and just inspire you, encourage you, and give you hope. Hope and love, the words for this week. As I say thank you so much for joining me. And of course, if you are anywhere on this planet and you're hearing my voice, you're watching me on this internet, I plead with you to love yourself. 3 little words. I love me. And if you can say those 3 little words on a daily basis, look in the mirror first thing in the morning. When you're getting dressed, it's easy because you're always looking in the mirror when you're getting dressed, unless you're crazy, because you want to know how you look before you go out in the street. So, love yourself. Teach your children to love themselves. Stay prayed up. Make sure you keep hope and love. Hope and love. Very important. And may your day be bright. And if you're going to celebrate Passover today, I hope you have forgiven everyone or anyone that you have anything in your heart about, or anyone you did an injustice. You make the injustice right before you go to Passover. Thanks again for joining me. If you love something, set it free. If it comes back, it's yours. If it doesn't, it was never yours. April 30th, International I Love Me Day, and Deadly Negligence is the name of my book. And the I Love Me Crusade is here for you, to encourage you, to give you hope, and help you to find your passion and find and pursue your dream. It's easy when you love yourself. Ciao, adios, and au revoir.